My name is Talia North, and I'm 33. Thursday night smells like rosemary and compromise. The waiter knows our order before we sit. The hostess smiles like a metronome. This is where Cassian once told me I was his calm, the kind of compliment that feels like silk until you notice the loop tightening around your ribs. He folds his napkin with careful hands. Tal, he says, using the version of my name that makes me feel like an errand. I've been thinking. I brace but softly, like a dancer landing. Thinking about what? About us. About growth. He smiles, script already memorized. You're amazing. Stable. Predictable in all the best ways. Stable. Predictable. Words that once meant safe suddenly scratch. We come here every Thursday, he goes on. You meal prep Saturdays. You do your budgets like clockwork. He laughs, fond and faintly superior. You know I love that. Order. A pause blooms. I hear it before he does. But I need more excitement in my life, he says, like it's a diagnosis. Spontaneity, passion. He picks up his water and studies the ice as if divination is possible if you stare long enough. I've been meeting new people. At a poetry slam, you'd hate it, he adds quickly, like mercy. They're electric. Electric. I picture faulty wiring behind plaster walls. Are you breaking up with me? I ask, setting my fork down with the same care I use when labeling my spreadsheets. Utilities, rent, groceries, dream fund. His smile tightens. No. Well, not exactly. I think we should open things up. Let me explore. Have some adventures. Meet exciting people. You can be my safe harbor, my home base. So you want to date other people while I wait? I keep my voice low. Nearby, a couple clinks glasses with the casual cruelty of the happily oblivious. You make it sound negative. He reaches, palm up. Think of it as growth. When I'm done exploring, we'll be stronger than ever. I let his hand hover in the air until it drops. What about what I want? He laughs, and it's small and real and ugly. Come on. We both know you're happy with routine. Your job, your gym schedule, your meal prep Sundays. You don't need excitement. He softens, eyes pleading to be believed. That's what makes you such a good anchor for someone like me. Anchor. Dead weight with a duty. I take a breath. Count to 4. The first time Cassian said I grounded him, I believed we were sharing a compliment. Now I hear we were sharing a division of labor. I need to think, I say. Of course. He brightens, relieved to be magnanimous. Take your time. I'm going out with some friends tonight. New people from the slam. See? He nods toward the door, already rising inside his body. I'm growing. When the check arrives, it lands by my elbow. The waiter doesn't even glance at him. Habits are heavy. At home, I stand in our kitchen where the plants lean toward a window that never gets enough sun. The apartment hums. Fridge, old pipes, the faint tremor of the upstairs neighbor's treadmill. I open my laptop. The screen blooms with the last thing I looked at before dinner, a folder called Someday. Inside, travel links, a list of treks I've researched at 2 a.m., a spreadsheet labeled Himalayas/1 month XXLX with tabs for permits, guides, gear, weather, PTO. In savings, the green cells glow. 5 years of putting aside 40% while people joked that I was no fun. I think of Cassian's "we're broke" voice whenever I suggested we split groceries, the way he'd sigh like generosity was art he hoped I'd learn. He never asked about numbers. He only loved the part where stability appeared on schedule. I click open the trekking outfits site. A date in 48 hours has 1 slot left. An empty seat, waiting where I've always put myself last. My phone buzzes, a photo from Cassian. Neon lights, stamped wrists, the caption, "Blair just burned down the stage." A woman with copper hair is on a mic, laughing like she knows the future. My chest goes cold and then very, very warm. I buy the flight. The click is quiet. The world isn't. Next, vaccines, insurance, the neighbor who owes me a favor and will collect our mail. I schedule autopays, cancel the grocery subscription I alone fund, print permit forms. In the PTO tab, 6 weeks glow approved. I never use them because someone else always needed me on time. I write a note and leave it on the counter, centered like a picture frame. Cassian, you're right. I've been too simple. Gone to find some excitement. In the Himalayas. For a month. No cell service where I'm going. Rent is due on the 1st. Your half is $950. Wi-Fi and utilities are in your name, so those are on you. Enjoy your exploration. Your former anchor. I sign my name, the long version, every letter balanced. Talia. At the airport, I turn my phone off. The airplane windows reflect a woman I recognize and don't. Hair braided, eyes steady, mouth unclenched. In the reflection, a ghost of Cassian looks over my shoulder and says, "You don't need excitement." And I watch the sentence fog and vanish. On the trail, days stretch like clean pages. My feet learn a new grammar: stone, breath, lift. Sunrises come with drumroll skies. Evenings are steam from tea and the quiet laughter of strangers who owe each other nothing. No one asked me to be safe storage for their storms. On day 14, a village tea house offers a cracked sign that says Internet. I pay cash and take a seat beside a window where prayer flags fret in a merciful wind. I turn my phone on. The screen coughs, shivers, awakens. It inhales notifications like a drowning thing hitting air. 187 unread messages from Cassian. Opening them is like watching someone discover gravity in slow motion. Day 1. Very funny. When are you actually coming back? Day 3. The rent is due. Where's your half? Day 5. The power got shut off. This isn't funny anymore. Day 8. Where are you? Day 11. Please, I'm sorry. Just come back. Day 14. This morning. I went by the apartment. Landlord changed the locks. We're evicted for non-payment. My stuff's in storage and I have to pay $500 to get it. This is all your fault. You destroyed my life because you couldn't handle a little constructive criticism. I hope you're happy. I look up at the mountains, and they are not offended by the word boring. They are made of it. Stacked patience, layered time, weather that does not apologize for repeating itself. I think of Thursday nights and napkin folds and a man who wanted a storm to love him. I whisper, surprised to find the truth shaped like a smile. I am happy. Outside, the prayer flags buck and settle. Inside, a kettle sighs. The tea lady sets a cup by my hand as if she's read the email too and decided to bless it. I respond to no one. I close my phone and tuck it away, a small stone returning to its riverbed. Tomorrow we climb higher. Tonight I sleep lighter. He wanted an open door. I found a horizon. Morning in the mountains starts like forgiveness. Thin light, soft air, everything stripped of the noise you thought you needed. I've been trekking for 2 weeks. The rhythm makes sense here. Walk, breathe, drink, repeat. It's like my old spreadsheets, columns of effort that somehow equal calm. But the calm breaks when I check my email. Cassian's subject lines scroll like a diary of panic. Need to talk. Rent due. Are you actually in the Himalayas? This is emotional abuse. Please. I sip my tea and start reading from the beginning. Day 1. Very funny. When are you coming back? We need to talk like adults. Day 3. Wait, you actually left? I checked the closet. Your hiking stuff is gone. This is insane. You don't even like hiking. That line makes me laugh. Quietly. He never noticed that I loved hiking. He just never wanted to come. Day 4. Hey, the landlord texted. I don't have your half of rent. Can you just Venmo it? We'll sort it later. Day 5. The Wi-Fi bill didn't autopay. They shut it off. I need it for work. Had to go to Starbucks. This is ridiculous. Starbucks. I can see him there. Expensive drink, dramatic sighs, pretending to be a poet without words. Day 6. I was supposed to host wine night. Had to cancel because of you. My friends think we're having relationship problems. Day 7. Why is the power bill in my name? They want $400 or they'll shut it off. Day 8. The power's off. I'm sitting in the dark. The food's going bad. This is actually abusive. Abusive. The word hangs absurdly in the air. Day 9. Did you cancel the grocery delivery? There's no food. I can't cook without power. I've been eating takeout. It's expensive. Day 10. Couldn't host the poetry after party. Everyone's asking questions. You're being so petty. Day 11. Rent overdue. $100 late fee. Parents won't lend me money again. Please respond. Day 12. From Brandon. What you're doing to Cass is cruel. He's exploring himself and you abandoned him. A real woman would support his journey. I reread that one twice. Then I start to laugh. In the still air of the tea house, it sounds like something breaking open, like a knot finally coming loose. Day 13. My car's out of gas. I forgot you usually fill it. Do you know how expensive gas is? Day 14. I'm at Mom's house, sleeping in my old room. This is humiliating. How could you do this to me? Day 15-16. You're pathetic, running away like a child. A real woman would fight for love. You'll never find anyone else who challenges you like I do. Have fun dying alone on some mountain. Day 17. Okay, maybe I was hasty. You're not that boring. Please come back. I'll even go hiking sometimes. And finally, Day 18. The landlord changed the locks. Everything's gone. I had to pay storage fees. This is your fault. You've destroyed my life. The screen glows, waiting for my reaction. I close the laptop instead. The kettle hisses. The woman beside me hums a song I don't know. For the first time, I feel something gentle toward Cassian. Not love, not even anger. Pity, maybe, for a man who thought excitement was something the world owed him, and responsibility was something women provided on autopilot. That night, I write in my travel journal. Lesson learned. Stability is only boring to the people who borrow it. When I return to Kathmandu at the end of the month, I find a dusty internet cafe. The inbox has doubled. 312 new emails, 47 missed calls, 183 texts, all from Cassian or people orbiting him. I skim the subject lines and think of the note I left him, how it probably sat on the counter next to his unopened mail, the paper curling at the edges like something trying to breathe. I book a flight home. The city meets me with that washed-out dawn light you only notice when you've been gone too long. My phone chimes the moment I clear customs. Cassian again. Please, just meet me. We can fix this. Blair's out of the picture. I realize now what I lost. Blair, so that's the poet. I don't reply. Instead, I text Mr. Peterson, our landlord. He answers almost immediately. Cassian didn't pay rent for October. I waited 2 weeks, added late fees, tried contacting him, had to start eviction. Don't worry, I kept your belongings separate. Storage unit B12. First month's free. Bless him, the world needs more Petersons. At the storage facility, my boxes are stacked neatly, labels still crisp. Inside one, I find the envelope I left on the counter. My handwriting looks almost foreign now. Too careful, too polite. I tear it in half. By the next morning, I've signed a lease on a small studio downtown. 1 balcony, 1 cup of quiet, and no one calling me an anchor. Before bed, I check social media for the first time in weeks. Cassian has been busy. Posts about surviving narcissistic abuse, quotes about reclaiming freedom, hashtags like #newbeginnings and #growth mindset. His followers cheer. A few ask questions. One comment catches my eye. Didn't you ask your girlfriend for an open relationship? He deletes it within minutes. I close the app and upload one photo. Me at Annapurna Base Camp. Sunrise painting the snow gold. Caption. Found some excitement. Turns out I'm not so simple after all. No hashtags, no explanations, just light and air. 10 minutes later, my phone rings. Cassian again. I let it ring until the sound becomes silence. Freedom sounds different once you stop waiting for permission. Mine hums like city rain against new glass. It's been 3 weeks since I came back from the Himalayas. I wake before sunrise now, not from worry, but habit, and cook breakfast in a pan that still feels strange for being just mine. The balcony faces east. The air smells faintly of construction dust and jasmine. Cassian used to say mornings bored him. Nothing happens before 10, he'd joke, but everything happens before 10. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. The first week home, I avoided my phone. Then, one evening, curiosity won. I opened my messages. He hadn't stopped. You're being childish. People are asking questions. You can't just disappear and make me look like the villain. Blair misunderstood me. We're not together. Please, Tal, just talk to me. Then, Brandon, his brother. He's heartbroken. You humiliated him. Cass was only trying to grow. Grow. Everyone keeps using that word like it's fertilizer for selfishness. I type one reply to Brandon. He's 31, not 13. If he's broken, it's from his own fall. Then I mute the thread. On Friday, I run into Mr. Peterson, my old landlord, outside a hardware store. He waves, asks about my trip. I tell him it was transformative. He chuckles. That boy learned what rent means, I'll say that. Apparently, Cassian stayed at the apartment until the eviction notice came through. When the power was cut, he called the electric company and cried. The woman on the phone told him to contact the account holder himself. By the time he left, the freezer had melted, the plants were dead, and someone had spray-painted "Live, Laugh, Leave" on the stairwell wall. Mr. Peterson suspected Blair. I didn't ask. Sunday evening, I allow myself a single guilty scroll through Cassian's social feed. He's rebranded. The profile photo, black and white, tragic lighting. Bio, artist, survivor, advocate for emotional honesty. Posts alternate between cryptic poems and shirtless mirror shots captioned, "Healing isn't linear." In one video, he talks directly to the camera. Some people can't handle passion. They mistake freedom for chaos. They want to cage what they can't predict. The comments flood with sympathy. Hearts, prayers. One user named @PoetryWithBlair writing, "Healing requires distance." I close the app before I laugh out loud. That night, I light a candle and pull out my old trekking journal. Between altitude notes and gear lists, I write, "Some men love storms only when they believe someone else will clean up the wreckage." 2 days later, Cassian finds a new way to reach me. He shows up at my workplace. I'm in the lobby when security calls. "Ms. North, there's a gentleman here insisting he's your partner." Ex-partner, I think, but I go down anyway. He looks smaller somehow, his charm wilted around the edges. Same clothes from his latest post. Creased jacket, tired shoes. "You're back," he says, smiling like we're resuming a paused scene. "I am. So, how was your little adventure?" "Life-changing." He rolls his eyes. "Right. You and your spiritual hikes." Then, softer. "Look, things got messy. Blair's out of the picture. I just need a place to stay while I get back on my feet." "You have a family, Cassian. They're disappointed." I fold my arms. "You mean Brandon won't fund your second chance?" His face flashes something raw. Shame or fury, I can't tell. "You don't have to be cruel, Talia. The old you would have helped. The old me also paid your bills and got called boring for it." He steps closer. "You can't seriously let me end up homeless." "You're not homeless," I say. "You're consequence-less. Different thing. Please." "Cassian, this is me being kind. I'm not your safe harbor anymore. You wanted open waters? Swim." He flinches. For a second, I almost soften. Almost. Then I remember the note on the counter, the bills in my name, the way he laughed at my orderliness like it was a flaw. Security clears their throat behind him. "Everything okay, Ms. North?" "Yes," I say. "Escort him out, please." Cassian doesn't protest, but as they lead him to the doors, he turns back. "You'll regret this when you're alone with your color-coded spreadsheets." "Actually," I call after him, "I've started salsa classes. The spreadsheets are jealous." The doors close behind him. The silence he leaves isn't empty, it's breathable. That night, Brandon texts again. "You broke my brother." I reply, "No, I stopped holding him together." He doesn't answer. I spend the weekend in motion. Thai cooking class, rock climbing orientation, photography workshop sign-up. Every new thing feels like muscle memory I never got to use. One morning, a woman from salsa class messages me. Sophia. She writes, "You lead beautifully for someone who used to be an anchor." I laugh, startled. She has no idea how accurate that is. I wake early on Monday and stand by the window, city fog curling around the streetlights. My phone pings, an email from Cassian. Subject line, business opportunity. I hover before opening it, half smiling. Because of course there's one more act. The subject line glows like a bad omen. Business opportunity. Let's reconnect. It's 6:42 a.m. I'm barefoot in the kitchen, steam rising from a mug of jasmine tea. The city outside hums like it's tuning itself. I open the email. "Hi, Talia. I've been doing a lot of reflection and therapy. It's been transformative. I'm launching a coaching company, Phoenix Rising, to help men reclaim confidence after emotionally restrictive relationships. Given your financial skills and our shared history, you'd be the perfect investor and partner. I'm seeking $10,000 for 20% equity. Imagine the story. 2 people turning pain into purpose. Let's show the world that forgiveness and growth can coexist." It ends with a quote, "From ashes we rise." I stare at it until the tea goes cold. Then I read it again, because sometimes disbelief needs confirmation. By noon, I'm laughing. Not the brittle kind, the real kind, the one that starts in your stomach and takes over. The interns at work glance over. I wave them off. I scroll down and see his company website. The About section reads like parody. After escaping a controlling partner who abandoned me for refusing to dim my light, I discovered my true strength. Now I guide other men to rebuild after mediocrity. His coaching packages are tiered like a menu. Escape your anchor, $500. Embrace your fire, $1,000. Phoenix Ascend, $29. Includes personalized story consultation. There are testimonials from 3 clients. All sound suspiciously like Cassian himself. One even misspelling resilience the same way he always did. I screenshot everything. Then, instead of replying privately, I open LinkedIn. Post by Talia North. Interesting business proposal today. My ex, who once called me too predictable, wants me to invest $10,000 in his new coaching brand about escaping boring partners. Here's my free advice. If someone makes you feel small so they can feel big, leave. If they call your piece predictable, let them chase their own storms. You don't need a coach. You need boundaries. P.S. The Himalayas were breathtaking. Turns out stability can climb mountains too. Within an hour, the post goes viral. Comments pile up. Colleagues, acquaintances, strangers. Queen energy. This is corporate poetry. Wait, is this that Cassian? One reply from my old landlord, Mr. Peterson. Proud of you, Talia. Sometimes the best revenge is just living responsibly. I laugh again, softly this time. By evening, Cassian's website is down. His profile has gone private, but not before the screenshots spread. Someone finds Blair's account. She posts a vague story about false prophets of healing. 2 nights later, I'm at salsa class. Sophia catches my hand mid-spin. You look lighter, she says. I just unfollowed an entire personality cult. She grins. Good cardio for the soul. We dance until my ribs ache from laughing. The next morning, I find one last message from Brandon. That post was unnecessary. I reply. So was the 5 years I spent financing your brother's self-discovery. No response. Weeks pass. Life fills up with quieter kinds of excitement. Real ones. Cooking classes that end in laughter and lime juice on my fingers. Weekend hikes where nobody sighs about the signal. A spreadsheet labeled Future Adventures with tabs like Patagonia and Iceland. Sophia helps me color code it. I like your kind of boring, she says, touching the screen. I almost blush. Then one afternoon, a notification pings. Cassian's final act. He's updated his professional headline. Cassian Ward, freelance content strategist, former life coach, seeking new opportunities. The word former glows like a tiny confession. I close the page. Outside, the city is golden with late light. My dog, Rex, rescued from a shelter last month, snores at my feet. I whisper to the quiet apartment. He wanted excitement. He got consequences. Then, after a beat, I wanted peace. I got a life.